welcome back to another episode on my YouTube channel. If you like these, make sure that you like this video and subscribe. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why I run very long distances. I was kind of curious about this and thought deeper about it as I was watching a Billy Yang video. Let me show you. He was, it's kind of like, he calls it the why of running 100 miles. Let's see if we can cue this up here. And it's a real cool video, but he talks about the Leadville 100 and goes on to explore some of the inner thinkings of why.
Why 100 miles?
And it's super cool, some great scenery on here.
Each step. And simply focus on running from aid station.
So I can't tell you the satisfaction.
Really cool journey, cool video. It shows him as he runs through the race, and actually the finish line, he has some really great thoughts at the end.
Each step, a new page written.
And so anyway, that inspired me. It was really cool, but Leadville 100 is an epic race. That was my first 100-miler, my first DNF. And since then, I've been able to do a lot of other things. But that question about why, I get asked that a lot. And I just want to kind of give my little spin on it. And also, by the way, I want to let you know, you may hear some additional noises in my YouTube videos, and I'm going to show you why. I have a dog named Doug the Pug, and sometimes he makes a lot of noises. Hi, Dougie! So cute. But he's older and getting up there. He's my partner. So you may see or hear him in some of these videos. Here's my buckle case with some of the runs that I've done. You get buckles, generally speaking, for longer mile races, 100K to 100 mile. And you can see there I have proudly finished 3 Leadville 100s. Got Badwater, 135 miles, Spartathlon, 153. Puerto Rico is 183, 3-day race. And then a variety of other 100-milers, some in Florida, Arizona. Just went to Florida a few weeks ago for Fast Track 100. See there's a sticker. They didn't give out buckles, so I just took a sticker. Over here are some medals. I like to run, obviously. So the question is, why go out and do this? So first, I do this because it's fun. Frankly, why else would we do something if it wasn't fun to us? And fun is relative, right? Some people love skiing, softball, playing darts, playing bridge, tiddlywinks. For me and a variety of other people, it's just fun. That's how we derive a lot of joy. And how is running so long or so often what others can consider grueling, I consider just wonderful. For me, it's like meditation. It's time to be with myself, in my own head. Sometimes I think about things. Most of the time I think about nothing. And it's just me at one with nature. And to me, that's something that I've never experienced in another part or area or aspect of my life. Next reason, it's hard. And it really hurts. And I think there has to be something said about taking on a challenge or putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation to try to improve and grow as a human being. There's one quote that I use a lot: if it doesn't challenge you, it will never change you. And I think that's true in all areas of life. When life gets too easy, we really never grow in that circumstance. It's kind of like when you learn more from your failures than from your successes. I've had that when I've DNF'd at 100-mile races. I've had mentors send me notes saying, hey, great job, you gave it your all, and you learn more from the summits you never achieve. And that's very, very true. Running 100 miles or longer for multiple days or across America, it is just hard. And there's different types of difficulty. Some of that is physical difficulty, some of it is mental, emotional. And in these races, generally speaking, it's more of a 80-90% mental game than a physical game. Because frankly, Arnold Schwarzenegger said it best, and I use this quote in my book: the mind will quit before the body will quit. And it's just such a true statement. Your body can continue on moving forever and ever and ever, it would seem, but your mind will make excuses. And you constantly get a chance to battle your own mind and what I call the devil of doubt, that little devil that sits on your shoulder right there, whispering in your ear all the time, you should quit. You just vomited. You don't feel good. You're coughing, or you twisted your ankle, or this could be a permanent knee injury, or whatever those other excuses are. And sometimes that devil of doubt whispers through other people. Other people, they see you suffering and they want the suffering to stop. Sometimes it's for them to not have to see you continue to suffer. Sometimes it's to not see you suffer. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, but there's always reasons to quit. And when you run very long distances, 100 miles or longer, you get to battle that devil a lot. And when you overcome and you don't quit, I think that's where you get true satisfaction from the pain and the suffering and the difficulty. Community. When you run these races, you're with like-minded people. Most of the day when we're out in our daily life, we're not hanging around people who like to run that type of distance. There is something, we're all a little quirky when you run really long, and we're quirky in our own different ways, and it's cool to meet different kinds of people. A lot of times when I do training before these races, I'm training for months leading up to races, and a lot of that training is done alone. Frankly, regardless of the fact that I'm legally blind, and a lot of times I trip, fall, stumble, I don't sit around and wait for guides, because most of the time my guides are not available when I want to go train. They may not be able to do the distance or the speed or both at the time when I want to go train, so I just got to go do it by myself. And I end up finding myself, I do a lot of miles training by myself in my own head, but when it gets to be race day, that's like a celebration, the payoff for all of this time alone. And to stand at a start line like the Leadville 100, we have people from all over the world, hundreds of folks ready to take on this animal and this beast, and you can do it together. And you do something that's a solitary activity like running, but it's done as a group. There can be no more intimate or sensual type of experience than doing that with a gazillion other folks. And I guess it's not a gazillion, but a few hundred. But the community is wonderful. Whenever I show up at these races, I see some of my best friends in the world. One of my best friends lives in Puerto Rico and New York and Arizona, and when we get the chance to see each other maybe once or twice a year, it's a true celebration. It's a homecoming, not just the running, but we celebrate before, we have meals, we laugh, we catch up. When we run, we see each other, poke fun. As one's vomiting or on the ground, we're throwing ice or water or helping, or somebody's having a difficult time, we're compassionate. And then after it's all over, we celebrate and joke and laugh, and it's another one of those things. Community, and I've always said in life is a series of moments strung together by breaths. And if we're living life and we're very present and we're not distracted, then we're making moments. And these races are opportunities to truly make moments with other people that you can never forget. They're forever stained and etched into your psyche, into your being, into who you are and what you are as a human being as part of a larger community. Inspiration is another reason why I run these races, and it's not to inspire other people, it's to inspire myself. I was kind of amazed when I was rereading my book in an editing phase, and I read a quote that I actually had written, which said, "Adversity gives us the chance to amaze ourselves on a daily basis." And how true is that? And these races are long running, is exactly that opportunity. It's putting this huge thing in front of us, this thing that we even at times think is impossible. We want to quit, we want to bail, there's all these reasons to, but we continue on and we overcome that adversity, and that just continues to build our character and our strength. And what could be better than knowing that all things are possible and truly believing that? This is just another demonstration, an opportunity to experience that. Albeit it takes many hours, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, but pretty much all adversity in life is gonna be uncomfortable. There'll be some pain associated with it. There'll be some fear associated with it. Usually those are the things, in my experience, that paralyze us or stop us from pursuing our dreams. Pain and fear. Pain is felt in the present, could be physical, financial, emotional, and fear. Fear of something in the future, fear of something that hasn't even happened yet, and it paralyzes us. It's insane, it's crazy. But adversity gives us the chance to battle these two things and to overcome them, and for us to demonstrate to ourselves that we can. And the more that we overcome adversity and battle through pain and fear, the more confident we become, and the less we are fearful of them, and the less pain and fear have a grip on our psyche and on our life. It's also pretty selfish, to tell you the truth. Running 100 miles is selfish. You go out there, you have a group of people that come out to support you, your crew. They follow you around through the mountains or the desert, or stand around a park while you're out doing your thing, having fun, running around. They're sitting there, telling stories, twiddling their thumbs, getting cold, getting hot, being uncomfortable, and it's all to support you. They are running 100 miles or more is a truly selfish pursuit, but it's something where those around you and those that are important to you come and pull up next to you, and they want to support you. They're there for you. At the end of the day, if you share your experience, your ups, your downs, all of those times when you wanted to quit but you didn't quit, and you honestly tell those stories and you're authentic about them, it ends up not being a selfish pursuit. You're actually sharing yourself at the most deepest of levels, and you're extremely vulnerable. It took me a long time to get to the point where I was able to talk about those ups and downs and lows when I raced. At the beginning, I thought I was out there, and if I finished or didn't finish, I was a representation of my crew, and it was crushing when I DNF'd. I DNF'd my first race, and I felt like a failure to my entire crew. I felt like I dragged them through the mountains, and then I couldn't make it. I missed the cutoff, and it was horrible. It was demoralizing. But in my crew's face, I saw all of these smiles and happiness, and I realized that it wasn't selfish. It was about doing it together. And you're just one part of the team. The runner's just one part of the team. The crew is just as important a part of the team as the runner. In my opinion, everybody should get belt buckles, not just the runner at the end of these long, long races. I'd say probably the most important people who've taken things away from my races have been my children, when they've followed me out there in the middle of nowhere, and they've seen their dad go through some very, very trying times, and they look at those times, and as they see, a parent or somebody they're close to go through it, they're inspired, and they know that they can go through things like that as well. It's a great metaphor. Running away from things. So when I first started my ultra running career, I was really running away from pain. It was when I was going through a divorce with a lady I'd been married to for 10 years, had 3 children, and I was just in severe, severe pain. And I was running away from life, from losing my family, from not being with my kids all the time. And it was the only method that I could use to cope with the pain. And I ran away from things a lot during that time period. I didn't want that part of my life. I didn't want my life to change. And what I found is, as I continued running, there would also be seasons in my life when I would be running to something, instead of running away from something. And those are different experiences. And ultimately, now where I'm at, I'm really not using running to run to or away from anything. It's just part of who I am. It's inextricably intertwined with my DNA and who I am as a person. And I run because I am. So it's kind of one of those things like run to live or live to run. It's just me. And it's what I do. It's what I love. So I run.